So we spoke to a trichologist.
What is that? Which is what?
A trichologist is it's like someone who studies the scalp. You know, the hair, basically, hair follicles, etc. So we learned quite a lot of things. So firstly, we learned that afro hair is an afro because the hair grows up towards the sun to protect the scalp. Didn't know that before. That's great. Also, there's a misconception that we shouldn't put water on our head, but actually we should be spraying our hair every day because it's like a plant.
I mean, I'm the worst. I put water in my hair all the time, so I've never listened to.
Can I just add?
I've never listened to how to feed your hair.
So, as she said, a plant towards the sun, when it's dead,
It will.
the plant drops. Pilgrim's hair fall flat.
It's fucked.
No. But I'm just basically saying.
I don't know where you guys. I don't know how you managed to do that.
No.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so there's this thing where certain people say that they are the ice people, and we're the sun people. The sun, when the sun, it feeds the plant. So what she's saying about the hair being a plant, there's a link. I'm telling you.
I'm definitely
Sorry,
going over that.
With Caucasian people, the reason why their hair grows down and long is because they have to protect their neck and their back from the sun.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
So we have to protect different parts. I knew about our hair growing towards the sun.
Did they get
Does
burnt?
it
They get burnt.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking.
It all connects, I'm telling you. It all connects.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the misconception that so we need to trim our hair, man. So it's like, you know how they have these products that are like, they have grow and grow to grow your hair and all of that. Actually, like, no, all you've got to do is trim your hair. Just make sure your hair is healthy and trimmed, and that you water in it, and then, you know, quite a lot of hair growth is to do with internal. You know how people put like egg and avocado on their heads? No, it doesn't work.
Look at the egg and avocado.
You're an idiot. That was for food, not
Your scalp can't absorb the nutrients like your gut can. So no, you need, and actually you're blocking the follicles. Yeah, your scalp. So also, I mean, there's so much info. So you know you've got like the ferocities.
What's that?
So ferocity is how much moisture our hair can retain. So you've got low ferocity, medium, and high. They normally say to test your ferocity, put a strand of hair in water, but that's a misconception. It doesn't work because I've done it 3 times and they've all been like, one is meant to float and you're low ferocity, and one's meant to sink and then you're high ferocity. But anyway, so there's kind of ways that we need to deal with our scalp. So first, spray with water, then oil, then cream. That's called the lock. That depends on, I think lock is for people with high ferocity. So if you put water, liquid, because your head needs to, needs to, you know, absorb. Then put the oil on top, and then the cream seals. Yeah, and then the LCO method is liquid, cream, and then oil, and that's for people with low ferocity. So with me, I didn't know that before, and that's actually one of the reasons. Like I figured out I can't put coconut oil on my head because it's quite heavy. I'm doing things in the wrong order, and a lot of my frustration with my hair is because of like not understanding it. But actually now, like even like for quite a while, my scalp was really itchy, and I get really frustrated. Like, what's going on? Like, actually, I just needed to water it. I just needed to put water on it, and then the itchiness went. And it's crazy. Like my hair was thinning on this side of my scalp, and now it's growing. It's crazy. It's like because I've connected, because I'm aware of the information on how to look after my hair. It's like, oh, thanks. There you go.
It's really interesting because I won't say that men are not that in tune with their hair, but a lot of women are, especially now, really in in tune with the process of getting their hair to a certain space and that. And you know, as you said, a lot of it is the food you eat and what you drink, lifestyle and stuff like that. That alone will tear up your hair. And you're not really aware of it because obviously your hair's on your head.
We've had these conversations before about hair being an important factor of identity. What was that one for you?
It's just given me more confidence with it, because I understand it. Also, I've stopped the narrative of my hair must be long, my hair must be long. Now it's my hair must be healthy.
Yeah.
Because you can never get long if it's not healthy anyway.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like processing and doing all these things to their heads, but they're killing their hair. Yeah, and like we also learned that the way that that cane rows are obviously from different tribes, etc. But there was ways that people would communicate when they were enslaved.
Through their hair.
I did not know
Maps,
that.
yeah.
And they would put maps. They would put rice inside their braids so that when they escaped, they'd have something to eat. Like there's so much identity in hair, and so
Genius people.
when people, you know, like now I kind of understand. I didn't actually before. I was like, oh, why just let Caucasian people braid their hair if they want, etc. But actually now it's like, well, if you're ignorant to where it, why, basically what the origins are, then no, that's
it's not on.
you shouldn't be
Who's that artist that said I am not my hair?
India Area.
What do you think of that statement?
I don't think it's an incorrect statement. And the reason why I say that, I understand, I think the older I've got, I understand the levels or importance of hair to ourselves. But I still feel myself that I'm a person that's not defined by my hair at the same time. So whether that be if a woman chops it off, if she grows it long, if she keeps it. However, that's personal preference. Like you said, it's about it being done healthily, as opposed to whether you have it, whether you don't. Because there's so many reasons why someone may not have hair, or why it may be in the state or position that the hair is in. But that was one of the songs I've always listened to. And for me, I've always listened to that track. So the depth of it, for me, listening was always about her kind of putting out that message to say, don't use that as a tool to try and work out who I am. So i.e. when we look at things like professionalism, and they say, oh, it's not really professional for you to come with your hair out in an afro, but Sally out there has got no hair ribbon in her hair either, and her hair's just there. But because it's down, like we said, and it's flat, it's okay. If a black woman comes with her hair straightened, that's fine, but my hair's still out. I still haven't got hair back then. If the wind blows, it still goes all over the place. In fact, if the wind blows in my afro, it's staying in the same place, chances are. But yet, when it's out, no matter how neat it is, it's not professional. So I looked at, it's more that angle. I've always kind of gone with it in that stance.
Yeah, we learned about that as well. The discrimination. Children are still being like suspended from school for not having their hair in a certain way. And it's like, but I was born with my hair like this.
Yeah.
Like, well, and I think again that comes down to ignorance, because if people understood the science behind the hair. So, for example, actually having my hair like this is technically not healthy because it's not a protective style. It's not as healthy because everything's exposed. It's exposed. Yeah. So if I have it in cane rows or twists, etc., that's my way of protecting my head.
Okay, yeah.
But when you get these people, whatever. Anyway, and they say like, oh well, that's not professional. Well, actually, excuse me, but you don't understand the science. If they understood the science and the facts and the cultural necessities of having my hair this way, then.
But don't you think in itself it's a bit of a contradiction? Because, for example, you've had how many children kicked out of school, so on and so forth, for having locks. Now, I've seen locks that go from natural state of messy, where you're looking like it could do with a little brush up, to you can see it's free form, to like it's spick and span, almost looks like it's been gelled down because it's brand new, fresh looking. Yeah, how can you tell me that's not professional? It's not neat, it's not tight, but yet you're gonna moan at someone having their hair out in an afro. That's not professional. But their hair could be redone, fresh, tied back, and you're still saying it's
them telling you go home or you're excluded because of your hair. It's just them basically saying go home because you're black and we can see it.
Well, yeah.
No, I get that.
No, but what I'm saying is that it makes absolute sense
Why they do it.
why and why there's like a hypocrisy and a
Oh,
place
okay.
that don't make no sense.
That-
It makes
yeah.
absolute sense. It's like we want you to come to school how we want you to come to school.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You're
let me-
lucky to get into school being black anyway.
Right, let me add on to that, yeah? It's like this, right? The more I've learned growing up, the more I understand the reality of things, okay? So, for example, if you come to my house, yeah, and you walk in my house, and I say,
My
take your
house.
shoes off, yeah? What are you not gonna do? Take your
Oh,
shoes off.
yeah.
Okay, cool. We're in this Western world.
It's
We're
their
not
house.
at home.
Yes, their house.
Yeah.
We're not at home. So that's like you lot coming to my house saying, I don't want to take my shoes off because
Right.
who are you to tell me to take my shoes off in your own house? Doesn't make sense. So what we're fighting for here, which I've said many times,
Acceptance, man.
what I've said many times, is we're fighting for acceptance in a place that we actually don't belong. It's not ours.
Yeah.
We shouldn't really be here. What's happened is because we've been brought here and been here for so long,
We
we've
think we
been
have a place.
indoctrinated, we think we have a place. We don't have a place here. We don't. We're playing a game. We're on borrowed time.
And they're trying to make you dead. Which
Yeah.
is why
Yeah.
they're bringing you into the corporation because it's cool. It's a dead energy. And so,
Killing your creativity.
yeah.
And it ties all back
Yeah,
to
back.
what you said in the beginning. Well, not in the beginning, but like, where now, well, not even now, but black women will like, you know, not, what's the word? Relax or perm
Yeah,
when it gets flat.
relax,
Or
weave.
killing ourselves.
Yeah.
So
It's not just the style.
No, it's a form of self-hate actually,
Yeah.
because we've been told that our hair's not enough.
Right.
So we wear. Nah, I mean, I wore a weave once, never have hair again. I wanted to try it, but no, not for
He
me.
said we was so quick.
And yeah, no, the whole like, and we were discussing this actually when like there's a woman in the street with long hair and you look at her and she's black. It's a bit of a shock. It's like, embrace your hair, lady. But for her, she's perceiving, well, I want length, and subconsciously, white woman means beautiful. They don't even realize it. It's from young. It's from young. Even with this relaxer, we learned that in relax. I've never had my hair relaxed, but it burns the scalp because of, I don't know, there's certain
Chemicals in it.
right. Do you know you're basically killing off your hair?
And that's why when their hair thins out, it doesn't grow back the same way
Exactly.
if it grows back.
Yeah.
And then they
It
will
all
start
goes
because it
back.
burns through. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
acid to the scalp.
Like
It all goes back to
And
the
that's why they're
plant.
limited with how long they can put it
It all
on.
goes back to
To
the
the plant.
plant.
Yeah.
That analogy, is that the word?
Yeah.
That analogy is what it is. Like, ah man, it's mad. It's mad.
I'm
It's
not
mad.
gonna
It's
lie, I
mad.
share my ignorance because I thought actually a lot of people, I think I was told that from younger, so in my head, I
I thought she
it
was told
just
that.
be-
Your mum was
No,
trying in
do you
me.
know what? It was my mum as well, but it was an outside. But I think even that, seeing it, reading it as well
Yeah.
with other people. But again, it's who you're surrounded by as well. So do you know? I suppose that was my ignorance that so many more people, and even I'd seen it even in magazines, that your hair's like a plant, and so many times I've read, our hair grows towards the sun. That's why we have an afro.
Yeah.
Because I used to question, so am I not fully black? Because my hair goes like this and then does that, and I'm like, oh.
It's also
So-
it's,
Huh?
Look at that.
Yeah, but my hair won't stand up on a full afro unless I have to literally make my hair dry out.
Yeah, but that's-
in order to-
Even
Genetics.
though,
Deep, bro.
even
No,
the
that's
bush,
what I'm saying, but that's
Yes,
why I see
no, but
questions
it's
from
so
my hair
deep.
type.
Yeah.
it's in representation
That
of what your
we've
thing
been
is.
programmed
I'm
that
telling
way.
you, yo,
Because it's like,
go into a garden
If you-
and look in the garden and have black people and others in your mind and watch what happens. The
No,
answers are
it's
gonna
not
come
right
to
now,
you.
man.
The answers are gonna come to you. I'm telling you.
My mind's going right now.
And sorry, Sarah Garvey said, everything connects. We are one with it, and it is within us. How you grow from a seed, a child, baby, to an adult. That's a plant growing.
Instead of tree with